The morning sun had barely risen over the village of Umuoba in Anambra State when 16-year-old Chiamaka Okafor stepped out with a basket of tomatoes balanced carefully on her head. The dusty road leading to the market was already crowded with traders and farmers. Despite their poverty, Chiamaka walked with confidence. She was the brightest student in her secondary school and dreamed of becoming a doctor one day. But dreams did not pay her school fees. Ever since her father died 3 years earlier, life had become a daily struggle. Her mother, Ngozi, worked tirelessly selling vegetables in the market, yet they never seemed to have enough. Every month brought a new debt. Every week brought another problem. That morning, as Chiamaka returned home from the market, she found her mother sitting outside their small house, staring blankly at the ground. "Mama, what happened?" she asked. Ngozi forced a smile. "Nothing, my daughter." But Chiamaka knew better. "Mama, please tell me." Ngozi sighed heavily. The landlord came again. Chiamaka's heart sank. "He wants his money?" Ngozi nodded. "He said if we don't pay within 2 weeks, we must leave." For a moment, neither spoke. The silence felt heavier than words. That evening, as darkness settled over the village, an expensive black SUV drove into Umuoba. Children ran after it in excitement. Such vehicles rarely entered the village. The car stopped in front of Ngozi's compound. A tall man dressed in an expensive traditional attire stepped out. It was Chief Emeka Nwosu, a wealthy businessman from Nollywood. Everyone knew his name. People spoke of his wealth with admiration and envy. Ngozi quickly welcomed him. "Chief, you honor my home." Chief Emeka smiled. "I came because I heard about your situation." Ngozi lowered her eyes. News traveled fast in the village. Chief Emeka sat down and looked around the humble compound. "I can help you." Ngozi's eyes widened. "Help me?" "Yes," he leaned forward. "I can clear all your debts. I can give you enough money to start a large business." Ngozi felt her heart race. It sounded too good to be true. "What do you want in return?" The chief smiled slowly. "I want your daughter to come and live under my care in Lagos." Ngozi frowned. "My daughter? She is intelligent. I can give her opportunities you cannot." Something about his tone made her uncomfortable. Yet the thought of escaping poverty clouded her judgment. That night she barely slept. Her elder sister, Ifeoma, came to visit after hearing about the offer. "You cannot trust that man," Ifeoma warned. "But this is our chance," Ngozi replied. "Our chance for what? Wealth?" Ngozi remained silent. Ifeoma shook her head. "Money comes and goes. Your daughter is your blood." For several days, Ngozi wrestled with the decision. Then the creditors returned. The landlord returned. The pressure became unbearable. Finally, she made her choice. The following week, Chiamaka stood beside the SUV, tears streaming down her face. "Mama, why must I go?" Ngozi avoided her gaze. "It is your future." "But I don't want to leave you." Ngozi swallowed hard. Deep inside, guilt was already taking root. Yet the sight of the money Chief Emeka had given her kept silencing her conscience. As the vehicle drove away, Chiamaka looked through the rear window. Her mother grew smaller and smaller until she disappeared completely. That was the day their lives changed forever. Life in Lagos was far from what Chiamaka had imagined. Chief Emeka did not treat her like family. Though he paid for her education, he constantly reminded her that she owed him. She endured loneliness, humiliation, and countless hardship. There were moments she wanted to give up, moments she cried herself to sleep, moments she wondered whether her mother ever thought about her. But every challenge strengthened her determination. She studied harder than everyone else. She applied for scholarship. She worked part-time whenever possible. Slowly, she began to build a future for herself. Years passed. Her academic excellence earned her admission into a medical school. Later, she graduated among the best students in her class. The little girl from Umuoba eventually became Dr. Chiamaka Okafor. Her success attracted investors and partners. She founded a healthcare organization that provided medical services to rural communities. Newspapers began writing about her achievements. People admired her resilience. But despite all her accomplishments, a wound remained in her heart. The wound left by her mother's choice. Meanwhile, back in Umuoba, Ngozi's life took a different turn. At first, everything seemed wonderful. Chief Emeka had given her enough money to transform her life. She expanded her market business. She bought new clothes. She became respected in the community. Many who once pitied her now envied her. But wealth brought new friends. Friends who disappeared when trouble arrived. Within a few years, bad investments began draining her savings. A dishonest business partner cheated her. A fire destroyed part of her shops. Medical expenses consumed what remained. One loss followed another. Before long, the money was gone. The same people who once praised her now avoided her. She found herself poorer than before, older, weaker, alone. Many nights she sat outside her house thinking about Chiamaka, wondering where she was, wondering whether she was happy, wondering whether she hated her. Regret became her constant companion. One Saturday morning, excitement swept through Umuoba. A major medical outreach program was coming to the village. Doctors from across Nigeria would provide free treatment. Villagers gathered at the town square. Ngozi joined them out of curiosity. A large banner hung above the entrance. When she looked at it, her breath caught in her throat. There, smiling confidently, was a familiar face. Dr. Chiamaka Okafor. Ngozi's knees nearly gave way. "My daughter!" Tears filled her eyes. For several minutes, she stood frozen. The little girl she had sent away had become a successful woman. As the outreach began, Chiamaka arrived surrounded by medical staffs. The villagers welcomed her with cheers. Many recognized her immediately. "Isn't that Ngozi's daughter? The same Chiamaka? Look at what she has become." The words cut deeply into Ngozi's heart. Not because they were cruel, because they were true. Everything her daughter had become happened despite her decision, not because of it. Throughout the day, Ngozi watched from a distance. Fear prevented her from approaching, but eventually their eyes met. For a moment, the world seemed to stop. Neither spoke, neither moved. Years of pain stood silently between them. Finally, Chiamaka walked towards her. Ngozi's hands trembled. Chiamaka, her voice broke. My daughter. Chiamaka looked at her quietly. The wrinkles on her mother's face revealed how much time had passed. Ngozi suddenly fell to her knees. Gasps echoed through the crowd. Mama! Several villagers cried, but Ngozi remained kneeling. Tears streamed freely down her cheeks. I am sorry. Her voice shook. I am so sorry. The crowd fell silent. Years of guilt poured out at once. I chose money when I should have chosen you. She sobbed openly. I thought wealth would save us. Chiamaka felt her own eyes growing moist. I was wrong. Ngozi lowered her head. I lost everything. Then she looked up. But losing the money was not my greatest punishment. The greatest punishment was living every day knowing I lost my daughter. Many villagers wiped their tears from their eyes. Many villagers wiped tears from their eyes. The pain was real. The regret was genuine. For several moments, Chiamaka remained silent. Memories flooded her mind. The loneliness, the heartbreak, the years of wondering why her own mother had let go. She could still feel the pain, yet she could also see the suffering in her mother's eyes. The suffering of someone who had already spent years punishing herself. Slowly, Chiamaka reached down and helped her mother stand. Ngozi looked at her in disbelief. You forgive me? Chiamaka took a deep breath. What you did hurt me deeply. Ngozi nodded through her tears. I know. There were times I hated you. The words pierced through Ngozi's heart. But carrying that hatred only hurt me more. Fresh tears rolled down from both their faces. Chiamaka gently held her mother's hand. You made a terrible mistake. But I don't want that mistake to define the rest of our lives. A cry escaped Ngozi's lips. She embraced her daughter tightly. For the first time in many years, mother and daughter held each other again. The crowd erupted in applause. Not because wealth had returned or because someone had become successful, but because something far more valuable had been restored, which is family. That evening, as the sun set over Umuoba, Ngozi sat beside her daughter beneath a mango tree. The village was quiet, peaceful, and for the first time in years, her heart felt lighter. She had learned a lesson that many people spend a lifetime ignoring. Money can buy comfort. It can buy status. It can even buy temporary happiness. But it cannot replace the people we love. And when family is sacrificed for wealth, the price is often far greater than anyone expects. As mother and daughter watched the sunset together, Ngozi silently thanked God for one final gift. a second chance. And this time, she knew she would never choose money over her daughter again. Thank you.